What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Trooper Transmission. And today we got my man Pate to come on and talk about Fit Nerd Academy, all things fitness, Star Wars, and everything in between. Welcome on the show, man.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. So let's take it back in the time machine 7 months ago. What was going on in your world and what inspired you to join an army of troopers in Fit Nerd Academy?
I think I'd come across it in my Facebook feed, and then I'd seen some of the workouts on YouTube, and I'd been going to the gym a good bit, but I really felt like I didn't really know what I was doing, and I had been looking for something to get me a little more consistent. So went to the source of all knowledge, YouTube. And when I found your page, I was like, oh wow, this is Star Wars theme. Great. I love Star Wars, so I might as well see what this does. And started following that. And then when I found the Facebook page, I started seeing like what Fit Nerd Academy is, what it does, and all that. So I got really excited to try it out. And I think whenever I had started following it. Like I got an email. I don't remember if I went to the website or something, but I remember you reaching out in an email and we scheduled a call and you told me all about it.
Yeah, and then you joined. You just jumped right in
Mm.
and
Yep.
hit the ground running. Obviously, stranger on the internet, guy in a clone trooper helmet. Were there any concerns you had joining, or were you kind of just like, let's send it?
I'm usually concerned about I'm usually concerned with anything like fitness. That's one reason why when I've been on YouTube, I've been worried about, I'm like, is this the right kind of program for me? Is this person for real? Or are they roided or something like that? But the thing that kind of set you apart though was you were not making any outlandish promises. It was nothing like, I'm going to get you a six pack in a month, or, you're going to get fit in 30 days, like all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, okay, there's not any, he's not, doesn't seem to be selling any snake oil here that is some kind of get fit quick kind of a thing. So this is probably more legit than most of what may be out there. And the clone trooper helmet stuff was just like an icing on the cake. I'm like, okay, there are other people out there that are nerdy but also want to like care about their health too. So this is great.
Yeah, absolutely. And you jumped right on in, started crushing it right away. What were some of the things you've learned since joining that maybe you thought had like a preconceived notion on, where you're like, oh, this is actually a different perspective, or this is what's actually true, and just kind of shifted some things for you?
Really just I would say the fact that I didn't have to really not that I'm done or anything, like there's still some changes I want to make, but not most of the changes I've been able to make are not super life altering. Um, in the way of, when you're just watching some of your nutrition and everything, it doesn't mean that I think that's one thing that got me was I didn't have to give up every single, food that I loved kind of a thing, or that didn't mean that I couldn't, like never eat pizza again or something like that. And it was just more of like once you actually start tracking that kind of stuff, it starts to show you like what you are eating, and it becomes easier to kind of make different choices. I mean, there's still, times where I backstep in that or whatever, but the fact of combining that with the consistency of just being in the gym is really, I mean, the results are there. Like, I mean, I'm still seeing my weight go down. I'm not like aesthetically where I want to be just yet, but it's at least been there's at least been progress with it. And I've even like other people have even said, like if you lost weight or have you, been working out more, and so which is like just awesome to hear, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when, you're not pronouncing, oh, I'm starting this crazy diet, and people are maybe like saying it on the side to make you feel better. Like it's um, no, what's the word I'm looking for? You're not asking, it's unsolicited,
Yeah.
unsolicited. Um,
hmm
so for you, if you had like a younger brother, or you could go back 2 years ago and talk to younger you, like what are your three keys to success? The things that, if you do that, like, hey man, you're going to be 80% of the way there?
I'd probably say consistency is the first one. Just the way of, trying to get get in the workouts that you've planned for it, or if you can't do it that day, making sure that you work it into your schedule at some point. But don't, if you're kind of like I mentioned earlier, like this week I've been kind of sick, so not beat yourself up whenever, you miss some things, like still try to do what you can. But the consistency is probably the main thing. And over time, if you don't like going to the gym, over time you begin to enjoy it more. Because now I do. Like there are times where I never thought I'd be at this point now, but there are times when I'll not be doing something. I'm like, I'd rather be in the gym right now, or something, like depending on what some situations are. Um, I'd say another thing is, I guess going along with that, like accountability. So that's one thing that Fit Nerd Academy has been really great, because even if it's not people berating me for it, I know that you're going to have that check-in call, coming, or whenever you put in, like, hey, like, they're watching, like, that you got to do these workouts, kind of thing. And just knowing that too, and making the time for it, is something that's very helpful. Um, and then finally, just I guess, the last part would just be grace, like for yourself. And, because there are going to be times when either don't go well, or you may try to like go in too hard at first, and that it's okay to, start at the bottom, or start where you are, and then slowly begin to work your way up. And again, that goes back with that whole, not beating yourself up if something doesn't go well the first time.
Yeah, dude, no one said grace before, and I think that is one of the most important things, because it's so easy to spiral, and then you get negative self-talk, and then all of a sudden you got Darth Vader in your head telling you that, join me, and and together we can
Exactly.
go the wrong path, and you're like, no, like it's okay. I messed up. And it didn't even mess up. I was supposed to fail. I always tell people, if you do any program, this one, college, whatever, perfect, like you're a droid. You're an alien. Like you shouldn't be perfect. That's not the expectation. So I love that you said grace. And yeah, man, I just appreciate you and appreciate the work you're putting in, and excited to see what's in store down the future for you.